Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Ja. What's up, y'all? 38-13, Arizona. Came to Nashville, put the stomp down on us at the end of the day. All right. Starting off 0-1. Jacques, I know you and me talked to several Arizona podcasters this week, knowing we were going to beat them, and we did not. And I know they're laughing at us probably right now, those podcasters, like, ha, ha, ha. But they thought, two of them thought that they would lose too. So they are in amazement just like we are, bro. So
Right. Shout out to Bo and them boys. And, hey, much respect, man. Much respect to them. Also, shout out to Titans and Truth. I ran into him at the game. Mr. Titan, my bad, guys. So I misinterpreted. I know we said we was going to meet at the pro shop, but I was on the outside. I should have been in the inside. And then I got there a little bit too late. So, hey, we'll definitely link up again, guys, when you come into town or vice versa, whatever. So I just want to put that out there. But, no, you're right, Hawk. They came to town. Fans were packed. Man, I think it was like 60-some thousand fans in the stadium, man. And the atmosphere was – you could feel the energy. Yeah, but we just didn't take care of business. And like you said, I mean, salute to them, man. Salute, like I said, salute to Bo and Arizona lockdown podcast, and then the Cardinals conversation court, man.
Absolutely,
so salute to them brothers, man.
We appreciate that, and thanks as well to Titan Rossi for inviting us today, man. You know what I'm saying, to the pro shop as well.
Titan.
Yep. So 38-13, Jacques. Bro, man. So fans, you got to put some comments in the comment section. We gotta know how you feel as well too. You know, we've seen several things already, but we want to know how you feel. But we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into it.
Right.
Get into it.
And the thing is too, I call this Titan therapy because we need therapy right now. I was telling my boy when I was at the game, I said, you know what? Maybe I need to start drinking when we come to these games. to feel a little better, man, coming out of here. Cause it was sobering. But anyway, let's get into the meat and potatoes, man.
Yes,
and
sir.
We know we lost this game. And there's a whole bunch of negatives, man, in this game. But Hawk, give us 2 negatives. And if you want to give us 3, 4, I don't care. But just if you got 2 negatives, man, holler at your boy, man. Talk to us.
So we speak upon the draft and how important it is, especially in the first round, second round, right? So we blanked out on Isaiah Wilson last year, right? So where do we struggle today? Right tackle, right? Right tackle. Game where a first round pick would have been playing today because we got a bunch of free agents and backups starting, okay? We had Quisenberry out there. We had Kendall Lamb out there. And you know what happened as a result? 5 sacks from one player. 5. Chandler Jones. Looked like Lawrence Taylor out there, literally. I was like, we can't stop him. There's certain games you see a player there in the zones like it's Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan time, game 6 Clay time. There's nothing you can do about it, right? That's Chandler Jones. The negative is we couldn't stop him. You know, our right tackle position struggled. We did talk about that in our show with the Arizona Cardinal podcast about our right tackle issue, and it was a major issue today. And when I look at it, I'm looking at Kendall Lamb. As soon as he gets on the field, he gets 2 penalties. And Chandler Jones sitting there licking his chops like, oh, yeah, it's game time, homie. I'm about to get my stats up. I'm about to lead the league in sacks on game 1. I got 5 sacks. Some players don't even get that in the season, right? And when you look at, J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt has always had great games here in Nashville. He did the same thing. He looked like the young J.J. Watt out there. We didn't block well at all. Our offensive line stunk today. At the end of the day, we can put it all in the box. We can say 50 million negative things. The biggest negative on the pie chart is the offensive line. The offensive line stunk today. Even Taylor Lewan himself said, man, hey, I apologize to the Titan fans. He said this type of stuff before. Chandler Jones really kicked our butt. I apologize, fans. Yeah, you should, because you and the line play like crap. The offensive line stunk today. They really did. The other negative that I'm looking at, too, is the way that our DBs played. Now, excluding Christian Fulton, I do feel like, Arizona was throwing the ball at will whenever they wanted to. I mean, throwing deep balls, whenever anything broke down, he could throw the ball. Somebody was open. And, when I'm looking at our DBs, I see effort. I do see effort. I mean, Byard had an interception. I do see that. But D-Hop had 2 touchdowns, which I knew he was going to score at least one. It's D-Hop. It's D-Hop. There's nothing we could do. Rondale Moore had a good game. Christian Kirk has a good game. He had 2 touchdowns. So, our DBs, our front 7 they did okay. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But, I think that's the other part. If I put a pie graph on it, I'd say probably 20% of that was our DBs. Probably 75% of it was our offensive line, man. So that's for me, Jacques. What about for you, bro? Man.
And also, by the way, Taylor Lewan was getting that work too. So I can't put all that on Lamb and Quincyberry. Taylor, I mean, the interior did pretty good. But so for me, I'm gonna put one negative, and it's gonna be hilarious. One negative on Shane Bowen, okay? Because the play calling was so predictable, man. And me being at the game and seeing it run, pass. It was the most simple offense you can ever see. And you on first down, you're running the ball. Then you pass. Then you run, pass. Shane, brother, you got to open it up, bro. You got to open it up. And we started late. The offense I don't think AJ Brown got targeted. His first target came in the second quarter, I think 10 minutes into the second quarter. Monty Hooker had a catch before AJ Brown, okay? You let that sink in on the special teams play. Let that sink in, okay? Shane Bowen has to do better, man. The one thing I give credit to Arizona and their offense, they spread the ball out. Mm-hmm. And to see it in person, it's amazing because they spread it out so wide. It makes your defense has to be honest.
Right.
When I see our offense, it's not like that. It's not like that. They tried to run 12 personnel where they had like 5 receivers, but it still didn't work.
Facts.
It still didn't work. I mean, it's still literally. I mean, he didn't dial up nothing for AJ. He didn't dial up nothing for Julio. Eventually, we got it rolling without that drive that we got the touchdown on, but I still wasn't impressed. This is why it's important to go out and get your actual offensive coordinator outside the organization. This is why it's important. My other negative goes to Shane Bowen. Okay. No, it just Shane Todd Downing
off. I got
offense.
Shane, yep.
And Shane Bowen on the defense. That's the other negative. Okay.
Woo, both coordinators.
I'm giving it to both of them, bro.
Talk to him, dog. Talk to him, bro. Talk to him.
So with Shane, he had some moments, okay? He had some moments, but he wasn't dialing up blitzes. It was almost where Buddy and them were coming off just willy-nilly. I'm like, he wasn't disguising the coverages. Byard was getting burnt. It Byard on one-on-one coverage out there as a DB, as a corner. I'm like, what is he doing? Right? No second half adjustments. Okay? If I know I got D-Hop, who was arguably one of the best receivers in the game, okay?
Facts.
And I know Jack Rabbit has been struggling out the gate, okay? We seen it out the gate, out the gate, okay? I'm gonna have to make some adjustments. I don't care. It may look wonky, but we probably have to double team this Joker. That's what we're gonna have to do, right? Now I've seen him with triple teams. He's been able to make remarkable catches, but still, those are what you call in-game adjustments, okay? If Bill Belichick was going against the Cardinals, okay, and his defense was going against the Cardinals, and Stephon Gilmore was struggling, what would he do? He would put Jackson, hey, we double teaming, right? You're double teaming. That's what we're doing. We're taking away, because if we took away him, you're asking Christian Kirk to beat you, Rondale Moore, and AJ Green. And we see AJ Green did do a lot, right?
Right.
So you would have said Rondale Moore, Christian Kirk. What can you do? Yep. Those are my 2 negatives, man. I mean,
I got you, man. Y'all, if we had a 3-hour time frame, bro, we go all down the negative.
We'd be here 2 days.
Exactly.
2 days,
we would be. And rightfully so, right? No question about it. Like, yes, this is a negative, that's a negative. This is a negative, that's a negative, of course. So speaking of that, man, so I'm trying to figure out some positives here in this game. I'm trying here. So do you have any positives, anything on the offense, defense, anything? Can we squeeze out any positives out of this?
So I'm gonna start with I'm trying to think offensively. Hurry up. Shout out to my boy Mike. He pointed it out at the game. the hurry up offense it was seeming to work. It was seeming to get to where the defense was throwing off. They were on the heels, like that fast pace, because they're a fast defense, so they were catching them off guard. Tannehill was in a rhythm there for a minute. I mean, he was spreading around. I was like, Ferguson. He hit AJ. Then he turned around, hit Chester. I was like, okay, we getting a rhythm here. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Right.
But that's offense, man. That's about it, dog. Woo. Like that one little section there. That's one little section. Defense, I can kind of go a little deeper with defense. First, I want to give a shout out to Christian Fulton. Okay, I've been an advocate for Christian since we drafted him. Okay, and I know some people question Christian, and they were questioning Fulton, but what he's been able to do in the offseason and what I seen him do in the preseason transition to this game. AJ Green, man, we know he's a hell of a receiver. And what he was able to do to contain AJ Green was pretty impressive. He had the one pass breakup in the end zone that prevented that touchdown, which it happened in front of me. And I was like, okay, hey, Christian, let's see if you got any more of that, right? Second, he had another PB. Tackle. I think he got like 2 or 3 tackles. Turn around, he almost had an interception. I was like, that's very aggressive. Very aggressive. So Kyler didn't look his way a lot. He did not look AJ Green's way a lot at all, man. And that's due to Fulton, right?
Yep.
I want to give it to also, I'm trying to think on defense as well, man. Defensive line showed out, man. They and I know you have wonky plays where the Kyler Murray's running around like a chicken with his head cut off, right? But that happens as a DB. You know what I'm saying? And him as a DB, you can only hold your man so long. So those are on defense. Those are really the 2 positives. And I got a bonus. The one special team play.
Okay.
The one that he threw. The one that number 21.
Mateus Farley. That's what we brought him for special teams. That's his specialty.
Mateus Farley. So that's all, man. That's all I got. What about you, Hope?
Man, I don't really have much to work from, bro. You've pretty much squared it up. I'm figuring it out. I would say maybe the play of Chester Rogers, who led us in receiving today. When his number was called, he made the plays. He had 4 catches for 62 yards. When he needed to make a play, he did. I felt AJ Brown was starting to warm up. He ended up having a touchdown. I mean, you could clearly see he was better than any DB that was guarding him. We just was in a spot where we were so behind, and our defense just, points were being scored, and we wasn't blocking. I mean, so it kind of eliminates your offense, so to speak. But I would give it to Chester Rogers in the spot he was at as a third receiver, say, hey, man, we're putting you out here. You got to make plays. We're going to give you the ball, make the play. He did that. So I'll give him that, at least on offense. On defense, what I would say about the defensive line is that they at least tried to rush Kyler Murray. They tried. We only had 2 sacks. Okay, that's probably more than we had all last year. But
man, dude, oh my gosh.
But their energy, but Dupree was getting up the field, Harold Landry, Jeffrey Simmons, they tried. And I think Kyler Murray being so elusive was the issue. Maybe if you have more of a stand in the pocket quarterback, we may have gotten 4 or 5 sacks. But that's it on the defense. I really feel that's all that I saw that was a positive. Everything else you could think of was a negative. So I'll give them that. I'll squeeze the juice on that, just that one spot. That's it. That's it.
Okay. And I feel you, Hop. So we know this is game 1. And we blew it. we blew it big time.
We did.
Are you panicking? Are you worried? First of all, are you pulling out your imaginary hair that's not on your head? Or are you pulling out your beard? Are you going crazy, man?
Man, maybe from how it might sound like it, but I'm not panicking.
Talk to us, Hawk. Talk to us.
Think about this. Preseason. We didn't have a preseason with our starters at all, right? And so, hey, if you're going to lose a game, make it be an NFC game, first game of the season. Get that on out the way. You know what I'm saying? Use this as your film study. They didn't have film study. They walked in the film room and had a bunch of backups on the film. And that's okay in preseason. I get that. Because other teams had to deal with that too. But I will say, looking at this, I'm not panicking. Now, I will say the schedule does not get any easier. They do play the Seattle Seahawks, who had won a big game today. We gotta go up to the Pacific Northwest and play those guys. And when the 12th man goes out, as far as with Seattle, man, Seattle don't lose a lot of games on that side of the United States. So that's a concern. I ain't gonna lie. But I'm not panicking. utilize this to get better for the next game. It's only one game. We have 16 left. Do I think we was going to go undefeated? No, I don't. I thought we would beat the Arizona Cardinals. I will say that, but I'm not panicking. What about you, man?
So first of all, they messed up our schedule. Our schedule show, they messed it up. I mean, they threw a monkey wrench in it. So no, I'm not panicking, man. We've talked about this at the game. A couple of fans that were sitting around with each other. This is the game you want to drop. You want to drop these NFC games because they're non-conference games. They're just games that's there to help you with home field advantage when it comes to the playoffs because you're gonna need it. But no, I'm not panicking because this is like a preseason game, like you said, like I've heard other people say, and great point to what you're saying. The starters ain't played. They ain't played together. There's no continuity. There's none of that. Right. So I'm not panicking. The way they lost sucks because it's like y'all wasn't prepared. Y'all wasn't focused. You didn't have no energy.
Yep.
Y'all act like this was a steamroll. Like, what are you doing? I put that on Vrabel. Vrabel needs to hold himself accountable for that particular part of it and not preparing your team to get ready to play the football game on Sunday. And they need to issue an apology to the fans that showed up to the game because we showed up and showed out. We were making noise. We were there in the heat, trying our best to stick with this team. But panicking, nah, man, we got 16 games, man. And I just feel like this offense, let me say this. I'm putting the league on notice, okay? And I know a lot of fans we'll talk about that in a minute. But when this team wakes up, y'all better get ready because we got a preview of it, or that offense, of what Tannehill can do with that offense, okay? So that's all I got to say on that. Okay. Just get ready. But am I panicking? Nah, man, I'm good.
So
are y'all panicking?
Yeah, I know, right. So though it sounds like you and I are not panicking, did we underestimate the Cardinals? Or, I mean, we talked a lot about, hey, we got this game in the bag, man. Did we underestimate these guys?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Now, I underestimated their defense, okay? That was my biggest underestimation. Our offense, I kind of knew this was going to play out like this because
we said that, man.
We did. We
knew that.
We did. We got, guys, if you haven't checked out the show we did with Locked On Cardinals.
Yep.
Locked On Cardinals and the Cardinals conversation. Go check that out, man. It was great. Great interviews, man. Great talking and whatever. But yes, we said that was our concern, but the defense shocked me, okay? The Cardinals have a legit core of pieces on defense in Chandler Jones. And to me, it starts with Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones' energy is amazing. The play action that he blew up, where he blew up Tannehill and Tannehill fumbled the ball, that was an amazing play. Yep. That was an amazing play. And I got to give him credit. I know I don't like the loss, but I got to give him credit. J.J. Watt seemed to wake up. I was like, okay, this is the J.J. Watt of old. And then he kind of cooled down after Chandler Jones kind of did his thing. Isaiah Simmons was out there hitting. I mean, that when we was in our end zone and we kept trying to get Henry in the to get the touchdown because everybody was like, Henry. Isaiah Simmons came down, man. Henry came, boom, pop, smacked Henry. And I said, okay, they're physical. I underestimate their physicality to their defense. Their defense is very physical. Shout out to Byron Murphy. Shout out to Alpha. Shout out to Thompson because they played A.J. Brown and Julio very physical, especially Byron. Byron got Julio off his square to the point where Julio nudged him in the face and he got a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. So you know he got in his head. So the physicality of their defense is what shocked me. I didn't think they were going to be that physical on defense. Right. I knew they were going to shout on offense, but defense and how they stopped the run, man, they killed it, bro. What about you?
We absolutely underestimated the Arizona Cardinals. We did. I think the Arizona Cardinals is a pretty good football team. I don't know how they'll pan out for the rest of the season. But, I think their defense, I think their offense might be the struggle between the two. And I would have thought the opposite before this game, right? I would have thought that, the other way around. But Isaiah Simmons was out there hitting the whole game. I mean, he had 9 tackles and an interception. Okay, he was making plays. Again, we looking at, Chandler Jones, of course. 5 sacks. Come on, guys. 5 sacks is equivalent to like scoring like 75 points in the NBA. Probably equivalent to hitting like probably 3 home runs in baseball in one game. Okay. That's the type of game he had. And, Chandler Jones he's been a baller his whole career. Buda Baker was all over the field. All of their guys. Byron Murphy played a heck of a game at corner. We underestimated these guys. We did, and I think the media underestimated Arizona. I even think the Arizona Cardinal fans underestimated Arizona. They didn't know their defense was going to come smack Derrick Henry in the mouth. Knock the offensive linemen around all over the field. Ryan Tannehill, who didn't get sacked much at all last year, his jersey was really dirty today. I couldn't even see the 17 because they had so much dirt and mud on his jersey, right? Arizona, I give you respect, give you a lot of props. They came out, they smacked us in the mouth. Even though we felt maybe we was going to come back, they said, nope, we're going to score another touchdown. And he threw that bomb to Christian Kirk. I said, that's it, done. Right. And might have slightly underestimated Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, he did his thing.
He did.
All over the NFL.com, NFL Network, Instagram, they keep showing the play. He's running all over the Titans when he threw that pass to Rondale Moore on the third down, right? We so close to getting him. He was skating through a whole D lineman and made the throw. Great job to Kyler Murray. Great job to Arizona. We underestimated.
Hey, also to add to that, Chandler Jones might end up with 20 sacks because he got 17 games.
Game one, exactly.
Okay, so he might end up with 20, 30 sacks.
Yeah.
Second, they have something special in Rondale Moore. He's a special player, man, and I think that's gonna help their offense too, man. They've gotten dangerous, man, and they're competitors, so they did their thing. So, we know the fans right now are. I'm gonna say it. They're in panic mode. I've been doing some fan evaluation and just listening to. Putting your ears to the streets, man.
Yep.
And there's some stuff, man, going around. Have you heard anything, man?
Yes, I have, man. There's been a lot of comments on Twitter, Instagram about our coordinators. You spoke on that, Jacques, and that's the feel from what I'm getting when I'm looking at social media. Is that they didn't come to coach correctly. And, just looking at, the fact that we got out coached and they are concerned about the Seattle Seahawks when we play them, right? It's like, are we going to be ready? We were not prepared. I don't care what no one says. We were not prepared this game. Arizona was prepared. We were not. Arizona, their issues were penalties early, but they finally woke up, right? I'm telling you, we were not prepared. They were prepared. And so for me, I personally think that, from what I'm reading in the media, the fans are concerned with our offense and our defensive coordinators. They really are. And it's going to be for them to step it up. Again, I know it's game one. It's their first game. Just like a lot of time, your first time is not always the best, and that's okay. So you learn from it. That's why I want to see, how are you going to overcome this, right? What are you going to do to be better in the next games? Because their concerns are valid, because we did not coach well at all. On defense, we getting shredded apart. On offense, we couldn't figure out to get help on the right side to be like, man, look, Chandler Jones got 3 sacks in the first quarter. Get this man some help over here. It's not going to work. Help this man. Help whoever's in right tackle. He needs help. And this is where, again, the Isaiah Wilson hurts us for the future. I'm telling you, right tackles are going to be a problem all season long. We better be ready. We just hope not to play a hellified left defensive end. Okay. So what are you seeing, Jacques? What are your ears to the street saying, bro?
The Tannehill talk, man.
Oh.
Is Tannehill it? Is he the guy? Should we get rid of him? Did he play a good game? What's going on? Why is Tannehill struggling? Yeah, I've heard the comparisons to game manager Alex Smith, and some of those comparisons are valid because we know what happened in the playoff game last year, which our offense actually lost us that game.
They did,
and it was in Tannehill's hands. To me, I'm not panicking on Tannehill yet, but what I would like Tannehill to do is to take command of this offense. Okay, when you see Todd Downing, who's is his second stint as an offensive coordinator, because he was offensive coordinator with the Raiders. I think it was back in 2016. I'll correct me in the comment section. And
it wasn't long either. Some reason. I don't know why. What happened?
This is probably why. Yeah. What I see is this is your team. This is your offense. If you see something that you're going through your progressions and your pre-snap reads, man, call out of it. Audible it. Change the play at the line. He does a good job at that, but at the same time, hey, you are the leader of this team. You are the leader of this offense.
Yep.
And that's where the criticisms are coming in. They took away our run game. Now, we know that's going to happen. The Arizona Cardinals, let me say this. They gave the league the blueprint on how to stop the Titans. You stop Derrick Henry.
No paper.
Okay, that's fine. We stop them. AJ, Julio, man, that ain't nothing. You see what happened, right? Yeah. I felt like Tannehill was more comfortable when Nick Westbrook, which, you know what? I'm going to give him credit. That was a great catch by him.
It was. Great catch.
Great catch by Nick. Ferguson had a good catch. Like you said, Chester Rogers. He was more comfortable with that group because he has been practicing with that group in training camp, right? Yep. He never practiced with Julio and AJ. We know what he can do with AJ, but he never practiced with Julio. Or Josh Reynolds at that. Josh Reynolds is hurt. That's a waste, right?
Right.
We wasting money just having him here.
Yep.
So Tannehill has a lot to prove this year. Because in this situation, and I know it's the offensive line. I put this blame on the offensive line. I can't really blame Tannehill this game. And I know a lot of people probably get mad at me because of that. But I can't blame him this game.
They shouldn't.
I know. But, you know, like some fans are upset with Tannehill. And that's the problem. The offensive line, no. Now, there was a couple of plays. But I'm going to point out one play in particular. There was one play where he had time. And it was like 3rd and maybe 10 or 15. He threw it, and Byron Murphy already almost had an interception. I don't know if y'all seen it. And it was a bad decision and I was like, what are you doing? Why would you throw that? But people got to remember, Tannehill is not a true – coming out of college, what was he, Hawk?
A wide receiver.
Exactly. Yep. Okay.
And I remember that when he was in college. I remember him. And I remember that next year he came as a quarterback. I say, he played receiver last year. He's a quarterback now?
Exactly. And then and all of a sudden, boom, he's the best. He's the first round pick. And I'm like, where does that come from? He knows enough to win you games. He knows enough to know your playbook, but he's not Tom Brady. He's not Peyton Manning. So I think that's the concern of we have the pieces. Can Tannehill lead us to the promised land if they take away Derrick Henry? And I'm on a wait and see basis. Now, if we're into week 7 and it still is happening, then I might have a little concern. If this is threatening our playoff chances, then I have some concern. But right now we have 16 games to go. Yeah, I'm not concerned with Tannehill. I'm giving him a chance. Yeah. Next week. I know we're worried about Seattle on defense, but offensively, I feel like this is gonna be a bounce back game because Seattle's defense is not that strong,
right?
Per se. Remember, the Colts don't have receivers to throw to. They just got Michael Pittman. I feel like this is the game you need to wake up. So that's what I'm hearing.
We better fix our line, bro. We can have the pieces.
And I agree with that. I agree.
Our line going to step it up, man.
I agree. But I will say this: the Seattle Seahawks don't have Chandler Jones or J.J. Watt,
right? Exactly.
Or Marcus Golden. They don't have that.
They don't.
I think this might be one of the best defensive line, and besides the Rams, because that's going to be Lord.
Right.
And that'll be a whole nother conversation.
That will, man.
That's my ear to the streets, man. I'm not worried about Tannehill, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So. Well, ladies and gentlemen, y'all, that ends the show, folks. As always, thank you for tuning in to the show. Again, Tennessee with the loss today, 38-13 versus the Arizona Cardinals. As always, you can definitely check us out on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly, as well on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. If you want to email us, our email is at TennesseeTitansWeekly@gmail.com, folks.
Also, I tell you this every show. If you haven't subscribe to the show and then share the show too. Tell your auntie, your uncle, your cousin, your dog, and cat. Share the show. Put the show out, man. We got great content. This content needs to be out there in the world. Yep. Also, turn your notification bells on by the subscribe button. It'll definitely let you know when we go live. Also, we might do some Titans therapy this week. And we haven't made up the date yet, but just to talk in depth a little bit more about this game. So we definitely, me and Hawk might do that. We'll keep your ears, subscribe to the channel. You'll know
exactly.
Subscribe. So
and you can, and for those that listen to Apple and Spotify, we have a show that's uploaded from today as well. Talking Titans with the homies. You definitely want to check that out as well. As we talk about this game in a lot of similar circumstances. Check it out. Different perspectives from other Titan podcasters as well. Check it out, man. Check it out. Right. So, well, to Seattle we go. Let's wipe this game off the grid and let's start over and let's do this, man. So, all right. So to you and yours, folks, thanks again. Tighten up. Facts.
No paper.